Hey everybody, it's Friday, and that means I'm streaming with you, and I brought the lo-fi hip-hop vibes along with me. I hope everybody's doing awesome today. It's a beautiful Friday, except that it rained, so I couldn't mow my lawn. Oh no, so instead I took a nap. I see Dara's in the chat. Hey Dara, good to see you. I'm enjoying an ice cold Fresca because, well, it's the masculine thing to do. Joe Scott said, scare waves in June, let's go! I mean, I try. Rob Field says, yes, I'm finally on time to the party for once. Well, you know what? I think that earns you some air horn for Rob. Okay, so Dara has volunteered the first example. She says the first film a film she watched when she was way too young, which is our topic today, was River's Edge. Ooh. Okay, I could see that. So what part about River's Edge, Dara, really stuck with you? And, well, if I guess we're being cute, we're like using cute ways of saying, you know, like scarred you for life. But what was it that really got you? You know, that really like hit you hard? David DeNoyer says A Clockwork Orange. Woo! Oh, okay. So, I'm going to posit this. When you share the film you watched when you were way too young, include your age when you watched it. I think that'll make it even more fun. Oh man. Dara Cosby said, at a slumber party, of course. Oh, the dead. Hold on. I gotta get the censor button ready. Oh, the dead teen and murder. Yeah, that would do it. What inspires a group of girls at a slumber party in, like, I would assume late 90s, early 2000s, to want to watch River's Edge? David DeNoyer says, 4th grade, rented it at the library without mom and dad knowing. Your library had A Clockwork Orange? Oh, man. Rob Fields said, make them die slowly, also known as Cannibal Holocaust, or Cannibal Ferox. You saw it when you were 16. How, Rob? How did you get your hands on Make Them Die Slowly at 16? Was it like an unscrupulous video store, or did you have a family member who just is a little bit dicey? Rob Fields rented it, man. You guys had video stores that were definitely willing to take a shot at letting a child rent something interesting. Craig, thank you so much for the donation. You just sent in $10. I very much appreciate it. Very, very much. And thank you again, my friend. We do work here on tips. and we try to bring in about $250 a month just to kind of support the streams, and also really so I can put it towards the veterinary debt for my good boy Chicano. Thank you very much, Craig. I really do appreciate it, my friend. He said, afternoon, Enrique. Afternoon, my friend. Are you ready for the weekend? I sure am. Let's see. Dara says, the mom was watching it on HBO and she called me a sex pot. Well, okay. Joe says, I was only 8 when I saw Freddy vs. Jason. Not that it's super graphic or anything. When we'd rent cheap, low-budget horror movies from Hollywood Video. So that was always fun. Oh, man. My Hollywood Video, the local Hollywood Video to me here in the Dayton, West Carrollton, Ohio area, we had a Hollywood Video almost next door to a Blockbuster. They were next to each other. They were like 2 shopping plazas on the same street. And the Hollywood Video was amazing because it used to be a movie gallery. So it had some really old, obscure stuff. That was where I first rented Evil Ed, Madman Mars, Dawn of the Dead, the double tape. They just had all kinds of stuff that most Hollywood Videos and Blockbusters simply didn't have because they opened later. So let's see. I can see Freddy vs. Jason being scary to an 8-year-old. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street 1 when I was about 6 or 7. So I have the worst examples because I was kind of let to watch whatever I wanted for the most part. Jacob Lenoff says, I watched Heavy Metal, the cartoon, when I was 12. Yeah, that may be a little too young for that one, but I'm sure you enjoyed the hell out of it. Rob Field said, it was a local video rental place in my town called Cindy's Video. I was renting movies there left and right. The lady there didn't care what I rented as long as it wasn't Playboys. Fair enough. One Saturday night, I took advantage of that and rented Make Them Die Slowly and Buried Alive. All I gotta say was, whoa! Yeah, Buried Alive is really good. I'm assuming I know which one you mean, the more mainstream one and not the Roger Corman produced one. Jacob Lenoff says, I saw some Fatal Attraction when I was 8 years old. That movie's scary and educational. It definitely gets you ready to learn about love and women. I don't know why our counter's not updating. That's annoying, but thank you again, Craig, for the $10 donation. I really do appreciate it. This live stream is operated entirely from donations, so I do appreciate every single one we get very, very much. Let's see. Rob Field said Beyond the Darkness. Woo-hoo-hoo! That. How old were you when you saw Beyond the Darkness? Because that movie still disturbs me to this day. Jeremy Woodworth said, Karen Black Trilogy, Zuni Doll. This is... Oh, yeah, I remember you, Jeremy. The Drop Dead Twice Bone Man. I remember you, Jeremy. I have heard so many stories of people seeing Trilogy of Terror with Karen Black on, like, television when they were too young to watch it. And that Zuni Doll episode is very scary. I love Trilogy of Terror. Whoa, Albert Smith. I saw I Spit on Your Grave at 7 years old. All right, you got me beat. I didn't see that until I was in my teen years. Whew. That's a spicy meatball there. My goodness. Let's see. Joe Scott said, our Hollywood Video got robbed about once a week. The Ohio experience. Yeah. I mean, out here, I think maybe people were too smart to rob video stores. Let's see. Craig Cohen said, Creep Show I saw too young, probably 11 or 12. I'm still afraid of bugs and never let anyone bury me in the sand. Ever. I can hold my breath for a long time. Oh, thank you so much, Dara. She said, love you and the doggos. We love you too. Wolfie is actually asleep right just in front of the camera over there. just out cold. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate the donations. They keep everything rolling along. Jeremy Woodworth said, you still friends with Josh Petrino? Kind of, sort of. I mean, nothing against Josh. We've spoken maybe a few times a year, here and there. He seems to be doing all right. Jacob said, when I saw the bunny boiling on the stove as a child in Fatal Attraction, it was scary, and when the wife shoots Glenn Close at the end, spoilers, but no, it's Fatal Attraction's a scary film, a disturbing film. Joe Scott says, my mother had a bunch of animal horror VHS tapes, Arachnophobia, Bats, Eight-Legged Freaks. This might explain why I dislike spiders. Dude, Arachnophobia, that's one I saw on TV probably 10 years old or so that really freaked me out. I love that movie. It's fun. It's got a real like Spielberg feel without actually being a Spielberg movie. But if you're afraid of spiders, that movie gets to you. So let's see. David said Thursday, the movie I also saw quite young at 12. You saw Thursday at 12 years old? That movie's perverted. I love that movie, but boy, is it perverted. Jeremy Woodworth said, just saw Galen Ross at Chiller Theater. Yeah, she was in the Hold Your Breath segment of Creepshow. Very nice. And of course, Dawn of the Dead. Donnie Morgan. Hey, Donnie. Hey, Donnie, did you notice a little decoration on the table over here? It's a little bit cut off right now, but it's here for when we film the Freddy Krueger podcast that we're doing. Freddy Cougar right down there. Let's see. Donnie says, okay, there we go. I'm gonna switch cameras. Donnie says, I saw Hail Caesar with Anthony Michael Hall at 35 and I wasn't ready. I still get nervous when I see the color mellow yellow. You're something, man. Donnie is funny dude. Joe Scott said, Arachnophobia is honestly an extremely underrated film, and who doesn't love John Goodman? John Goodman slaps in Arachnophobia. You got bad wood. What do we do? Get good wood. Jeremy Woodworth said, just saw Petrino's name in Terrifier 2 credits. Cool. Yeah, I didn't spot that, but I wasn't paying attention too closely. Donnie says, yay, the cougar. You know it. Thank you for the awesome gift package you sent over Christmas, Donnie. Jeremy said, my fave kids movie was the one with John Ritter and the doctor from Star Trek The Next Generation. I don't know if I know that one. David Denoyer said, Showtime free cable sample at my parents' house. It was Punisher with Tom Jane had just come out, and I wanted to see another movie with him. Then I watched him get R-worded in Thursday. Yeah, that's a perfect escalation. Dara Cosby said, Child's Play was a life ruiner. I was 7. Just the commercials were enough to give me nightmares. I buried my brother's My Buddy doll in the backyard, LOL. I had a My Buddy doll. I saw that. I saw Child's Play, which, by the way, is an interesting movie to watch back at because I grew up with a single mom. Andy has a single mom. Andy's mom is named Karen. My mom's named Karen. She worked at the mall. My mom worked at the mall. It was very weird. Maybe I went back in time and wrote Child's Play, but I had a My Buddy doll and I locked it in my closet at night after I saw Chucky. I think I saw Child's Play 2 first on USA. Jacob says, I am a huge James Cameron fan. One of my favorite movies is Titanic, but the first movie of his I saw, I watched Aliens on HBO when I was 8 years old and had my first panic attack. Aliens is it's a fun action movie, but it's got a lot of intense stuff in it. Same thing, I loved Terminator 2 as a kid, and when I finally got my hands on Terminator 1, I had no idea how scary Terminator 1 was, and that definitely freaked me out, especially when he rips the guy's heart out at the beginning. The Other, 1971. It's a period piece around the time of Bruno Hauptmann. Yeah, I've not seen The Other from 1971, I don't think. Dara says, nice. And then Joe Scott says, I don't know when I first saw Gremlins, but my cousin had a life-sized gremlin doll just in the top of his closet, and that thing scarred me. I could see that. I definitely... As a kid, movies about toys coming to life and killing you was definitely one that concept that freaked me out, especially Child's Play, because Chucky was just so scary. When his brow would get all like, ah, that was the pass. Can't live through that. No, thank you. Oh my God. Chucky was always the scariest one. I remember I saw Puppet Master when I was like 11 years old, and that one scared me pretty good too. Rob Field says, makes me think of the dummy scene in Zapped. Oh man, well, there is a classic. I love me some Zapped. I really do. Jeremy Woodworth said, Stripe was the sound effects guy from Police Academy. Oh, okay. Oh, Dara Cosby said, The Gate. Love it now, though. Yeah, The Gate's really fun, but those little monsters, the whole concept is very scary, especially if you yourself are a kid, because the kids are in so much danger. I could see that one for sure. Nick Click. Hey, Nick. She said, if we're going scary dolls, my vote is for Magic. Ooh, that one does have scary dolls in it. That's a really good point. Joe said, the true films you watched when you were way too young was whatever was on Cinemax late at night. Dude, I mean, we had cable in a way, and it piped directly into my bedroom, and I definitely got very acquainted with Emmanuel. Oh, good times. Let's see. Dara commented, oh, Magic, yes. Yeah, no, Magic, that's a good one. That's a good call. Jeremy says, grandiose murder of a child by Ice Cream Guy in Assault from Precinct 13. I don't know how, but I didn't see the original Assault on Precinct 13 until like a year or two ago with my buddy Dave. I don't think I'd ever seen it, or if I had, it was brief, like when I was a teenager or something. I don't think I'd ever seen it, because I would have remembered it, because that was a hell of a scene. And that's a great film, great like first feature for John Carpenter. Let's see. Jacob commented, I met C. Thomas Howell at Horror Hound Weekend recently and told him I watched A Tiger's Tale, which he starred in when I was 7 years old, and that was when I saw my first set of boobs. The boobs that belonged to the late Kelly Preston. You know, I mean, come on. Film is just the gift that keeps on giving. Donnie says, remember in The Gate 2 when everything just turned into crap? Oh man, I'd be so mad if I went on a spending spree and it all turned out to crap. Yeah, The Gate 2 was not as good as The Gate. Ghastly, hey Ghastly, said The Shuttered Room. I don't think I've seen The Shuttered Room. Jacob Lenoff said, did you watch Emmanuel 5 with Monique Gabrielle? I don't think that was one I saw originally on Cinemax, but there were so many of them. They just cranked those out. The Shuttered Room. I'm going to look that up. I'm curious. Oh, AKA Blood Island. Ooh. Oh, this looks fun. It looks like it's a Lovecraft story, maybe, adapted. I'm gonna check that out. I am gonna check that out, Ghastly. Shuttered Room, it looks really good. Jeremy says, Gate needed more heavy metal t-shirts. Nick Click says, I just purchased The Shuttered Room. Ooh. It's happening, kids. Dara said, I can't watch anything with Krista Allen in it without giggling. Well, now I'm in the same boat. Darn it. Thank you again, Dara, for the donation. I really do appreciate it. Very, very much. I'm just trying to get my goal thing to change. Yeah, well, we're doing all right. Let's see. David Denoyer said a movie I love but still never ready for was Satan's Children. Yes! I like Satan's Children. Not a great film by any stretch of the definition, but I have a very big soft spot for Satan's Children. Jeremy says, my buddy just met the Kip Winger in Merriweather post Pavil. I'm not sure what that means. I apologize. Ghastly said, don't lock your mentally challenged relatives in the attic. Jacob said, my late aunt loved Tom Cruise when I was growing up, so I went with her and my mom because mom couldn't get a babysitter, and we saw Cocktail when I was 8 years old. One of the worst movies ever made. Fair enough. Pavilion. Okay, gotcha, Jeremy. I don't think I've seen Cocktail. Oh, man. Okay, Joe Scott just said, I watched Frailty as a child. People should watch Frailty. Frailty? Such a good film. Such an underrated film. Directed by and starring the late, great Bill Paxton. Love Frailty. That might be like a flawless thriller. I adored Frailty. Let's see. Dara said, I love Cocktail, a comfort movie for me, LOL. Jeremy Woodworth said, Beast in the Cellar, British film from the 60s. I saw when I was around saw it around 76. Dara says, Frailty is great. Yeah. Jeremy says, just talk to Jeremy Sumter. Sumter hadn't seen Dark Backward. I do like Dark Backward. Jacob says, Cocktail is a traffic accident. And then Ghastly said, he said cock. Jeff McClellan said, Frailty is a 4-star picture. Darn right. Darn tootin'. And Jeremy said, Jeremy Sumter did a really good Matt McConaughey impression. Cool. I'm not sure. I don't know if I'm familiar. Sorry, I'm fixing the donation goal thing on here because it was giving me some trouble. So bear with me for a moment while I adjust it. And now I should be able to update it. Hopefully. Sorry, I'm messing with tech stuff. Still new to this streaming thing. So, so bear with me. I apologize. Okay. Oh, I got you, Jeremy. So Joe Scott said Matthew McConaughey should definitely do more horror. I'm glad he's over the rom-com slump. I'm sure the houses he bought with that didn't feel like a slump. But what are you talking about? McConaughey did the greatest horror film of all time, Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Boo! Oh, and I get you, Jeremy. Matt McConaughey was the grown-up Sumter in the movie. Yeah, you're right. You got me. Dara says, I just watched Cooties and Mom and Dad had a fun back-to-back. Oh, Mom and Dad. Oh, yeah. Mom and Dad was a surprisingly fun horror film, and Cooties was really fun and cute. I liked it. Jeremy Woodruff said, Renee Zellweger. It all started with Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4. Jacob said, my mom took me to the movies all the time when I was growing up, saw Disney cartoons, Ninja Turtles, Home Alone, Coming to America, The Good Son, Jurassic Park, Batman, the list goes on. Man, The Good Son, that was a scary movie to see as a kid. Oh man, Joe Scott said, don't joke. That's probably my favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie besides the first one. Wow, really? I mean, I'm not here to judge. Like that's not terrible. It's definitely highly entertaining. I'm a big fan of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, and not just because I'm friendly with the director, Jeff Burr, although that doesn't hurt for sure. There we go. These donate things are working. I think they're finally working. We'll see. Whatever. If you want to find out if the donate goals are working, if I fixed it, just donate. Oh, yeah. So let's see. Rob Field said Cooties was fun. So was Mom and Dad. Definitely. Dara says definitely. And Jeremy says, just found out Adam Rifkin is working with with Paxton's son named James Paxton. Yeah, he's doing a Western, isn't he? And I think if I remember correctly, Rifkin's doing a Western, and the script was written by his late mother. Jacob said, I met Danielle Harris too. What a babe. Yeah, she's pretty cool. Thank you very much, Joe, for your $15 donation. And look at that. It did indeed push the counter up. So I got it fixed. Haha, hold on. Air horn for me. Thank you. I am only moderately a boomer when it comes to streaming. Thank you. Please. Hold your applause until the end. Thank you. Jeremy said McDowell and Steenburgen. Oh, are you talking about you said McDowell and Steenburgen sorry, when I hear that I think of Dead of Winter, which has Roddy McDowell and Mary Steenburgen, which I love that movie. That's another movie that's incredibly underrated. Jacob said, are you going to work with what's her face again, the Calamity Jane? Who was that? I think you mean Aaron Ryan. I don't know. Aaron, I believe, moved away. Oh, okay. Jeremy saying Western. Oh, okay. So different McDowell, obviously. Not Roddy McDowell, since he's no longer with us, unfortunately. And I love Mary Steenburgen. Incredible actress. Dara said, I must jump off. You all are the best. No, you're the best, Dara. I hope you have an awesome weekend. Joe Scott said the whole off-the-rails plot with Texas Chainsaw 3 that involves the JFK assassination in a secret society is just too good. You're thinking of Texas Chainsaw 4. That's the one that has the Illuminati in it. Oh, man. Yeah, Malcolm McDowell, of course. Yeah, that makes sense. Jeremy said Malcolm McDowell. David Denoyer said, I'm on my way, and yes, that's a threat. Oh, man. Jeremy said, very well, Droogie. Very well, Lil Droogie. Jacob said, would you like to work with her again? Well, I mean, Aaron and I have made, I don't know, maybe 11 or 12 movies together. So, yeah, I'd be happy to work with her again if she's in the area. Joe said, man, you got me. I am a fake fan. Busted! That's right. You didn't know, but I'm the gatekeeper, pal, and you're no burp-derp-der. I will say, as part of my fan brain, I really enjoy having I'm really big on having the franchise, even when they have lots of sequels. I really like to have them all super organized in my brain. I think that's just the way I function. So I don't blame you for thinking that 3 had that element and 4, whatever. It's all good. But for me, I'm like really intense about what sequel is what. I don't think it actually is that big a deal. Wolf Dan in the house. Hey, Dan, good to see you, my friend, and thank you again for coming to my screening last night. I really do appreciate it. It was nice to hang out with you and meet your lovely wife, and I look forward to seeing you when we do it again, my friend. Rob said, come on, Hen, when are you going to learn to board up the doors and windows when Dave threatens to come for you? I know. Instead, I just, put up the shotgun booby trap. Joe said, the only thing I remember about 3 is Viggo Mortensen and me and my friend saying we'd give the film 5 stars on Letterboxd if Ken Foree survived. You might have seen one of the original cuts, because Joe, in the final version that got released, Ken Foree does survive. Believe it or not. Ken Foree does survive in Texas Chainsaw 3. Now, in the original script, he did not. But yeah, after getting his head fully chainsawed in the version that they reshot, he just has a Band-Aid on his head. Oh. Dan said, it was our pleasure. Can't wait to hang out again. We won't have to wait long, I assure you. Jacob said, I love the romantic comedy you made with her. The one where the guy crashed the wedding. You should make more romantic comedies. I'm working on it, and actually that's called Making Out. We actually screened that last night, and it was a lot of fun. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Rob Field said, well, in that case, okay, just make sure you actually load the gun first. Well, a gun without bullets is like a toy without batteries. All right. Jeremy said, I love Bubba in From Beyond. We were all crazy. I do love From Beyond. I need to crack open my 4K of From Beyond and give it a watch. It's been a while. Dan York said, TCM3 is actually one of my favorite in the series. Mine too. There's something about it that just hits right. And I rented that one a lot from the Family Video. So the age that I'm 36 now, so when I was watching some of these movies, some of them I only ever saw on DVD. I saw the original Texas Chainsaw on VHS. I saw Texas Chainsaw 2, the first time I saw it was on DVD. But Texas Chainsaw 3, I only saw a tape of it at my local video store. So that one, I got the full VHS effect. Jeremy said, ate his head like a gingerbread man. Jacob said, I really like that, and Nothing Good Ever Happens. They were better than Calamity Jane. Well, I mean, it's all up to taste. You know, comparing a romantic comedy and coming-of-age drama to a Western is never necessary. Man, I can't believe how hot it's gotten outside. I've been sweating all day. Let's see. Jeremy said From Beyond is the best rom-com. I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it, right? Jacob said, are you more of a horror filmmaker? Not really. I love horror movies a lot, and I do enjoy making them, but about a little at this point, a little under half of the films I've made are horror films. David Denoyer said it's looking quite nasty out. Is it because you're there? It's because you're there. Is it raining really bad up there? I don't care. Drive faster. If the roads aren't safe, then you don't want to be on them long. So just put the pedal to the metal, no brake. Dan said, I love the story how Texas Chainsaw 3 was made, LOL. It was a miracle. It was as good as it is. Dan, did you realize that in the film Making Out that you watched last night, that Jeff Burr, the director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, played a character in the film? Did you realize that? Joe Scott, I was just perusing your IMDb the other day and realized you played Jesus in a movie, which seems oddly fitting. Yeah. Everybody, when you got long brown hair and a beard, everybody wants you to play the J-Man. It's just the way it goes, you know? You get typecast really quick. You're either Jesus or you're Charles Manson. There's really no in between. Rob said, you've been sweating all day. Dave scares you that much. Oh, yeah. David said, no, it's looking bad in your area, is it? I don't think it's even raining down here yet. I know I just got a notice that it was going to start raining, but I don't know. Now I got to check we haven't even really started raining here yet. It's nothing. Scattered storms at best. Don't be a loser, Dave. Dan York said, I did not. I did notice some hat tips. Well, so in Making Out, the producer that he talks to on the phone, Jean-Paul, that is Jeff Burr, the director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Puppet Master 4 and 5, Eddie Presley, Straight into Darkness, Stepfather 2, From a Whisper to a Scream, and many other great films. He's a good dude, really good dude. Jacob said, I saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit in cinemas when I was 8 years old. One of the coolest movies ever. That is a good one. And when he kills the shoe cartoon, it is actually very terrifying, very traumatic to me. David said, I'm on 75 and it's dark. Try opening your eyes. Are you wearing sunglasses? You never know. Maybe don't text while you're driving. Nick Click said it's very light sprinkle. See, and Nick would know. I'm in a room with no windows on purpose because I don't want light bleed in here, so I don't know what's going on anywhere ever at all. Dan York said, holy that's awesome. Thank you. Jeff Burr is a good guy. We ended up becoming friendly after a convention, and he's based in Georgia now. So I was able to drive down, hung out with him. We filmed his part, and then we had dinner. It was a really fun time. David Denoyer said, I'll do what I can. Or I'll do what I want. That sounds more like Dave. Joe said, David exemplifies all the terrible drivers on I-75. Man, shots fired, Dave. That's brutal. That was truly a level of cruelty that I can sincerely appreciate. Thank you for that, Joe. Dan York said 275 is wet and sucks, LOL. Oh yeah, well that's a bit south, so luckily I won't have to deal with it. Jacob said, what is the rating of most of your movies? PG, PG-13, R, what? Well, we don't rate our movies because it costs too much money to get them rated, so we don't bother. So I've actually never had a film properly rated. So none of them have been rated at all. Joe said, I couldn't make it to the Making Out screening, but I put in a vacation time to drive down and see Scarewaves. Hell yes, Joe! I can't wait to see you. If you're off that whole day, let me know if you can get into town a little early and we'll go grab dinner. Be really fun. David said, yep, downpour outside of Tip City. Well, I guess, hold on. This one's for Dave. Dan York said, unrated is always best. Well, it's gotten tricky, you see, because streaming has become like television, like the second coming of television. So most of the time, we rate things like TV 14 or TVMA or TVG, TVPG, TVY, TVY7, all of those, because those are self-imposed ratings, so you don't have to pay anybody for them. So that's usually what I'll do, is use the TV ratings, which, like I said, they're self-imposed. Let's see. Joe said, David is officially the weatherman, driving around and giving us locals updates. Should I call him? I should call him on the phone. He could just give us the Southern Ohio weather update from the traffic Jeep that he's riding down the highway on. Rob Fields says, definitely got to look into PTO for Scarewaves. Dude, if you want to take a day off to come down and do that, you would also be welcome to dinner. We could find you some good vegan food. I know there's some good stuff out there. David DeNoyer said, don't call me, LOL. Well, now I want to. I was joking before, but now that you're like, please don't call me, you're making my dial finger awfully itchy, pal. I'm not going to call you, but I want to. I want to. You're challenging me. Let's see. Dan said, wasn't the Goonies PG and dropped a few F-bombs? I don't know if it had a few F-bombs, but you got to remember that there was a time period where there was no PG-13. And that's important to keep in mind. There was a time there was no PG-13. So, like, for instance, Texas Chainsaw Massacre was almost rated PG, but it ended up getting an R. If there had been a PG-13 rating back then, it actually would have been a PG-13. Texas Chainsaw Massacre has very little actual violence on screen. A movie like Tourist Trap, which I find very scary, PG. So PG-13, before it existed, PG, you could show some brief nudity and you could have some basic swear words. Hell, Kramer versus Kramer, one of my favorite movies of all time, it's rated PG and they show Bush in it. And I don't mean two presidents. Joe said, I'll be off all day, so we'll definitely set something up. Absolutely, brother. You drive down, you holler at me, and send me a direct message. I'll get you my phone number. We can make sure we get everything simpatico. Rob said, okay, I'll keep you posted on the PTO. Maybe on Monday I'll have news on that. Yeah, just keep me posted, man. David said, no F-bombs in Goonies. A lot of shits. I love the beep, because you still hear it. Was it Red Dawn was the first PG-13 movie? That's what Jeremy's saying. That sounds right. That Red Dawn was the first PG-13 movie. Dan York said, I bought Scarewaves last night and started it when I got home, only got about 10 minutes in. Plan to actually watch it this weekend. I think you're going to enjoy it. It's like my Tales from the Hood. I love Tales from the Hood. Let's see. Joe Scott said, I want to be the guy at the rating board who counts each individual curse word until they cross the line. I remember Will Smith's Hancock had to cut exactly one F-bomb to stay PG-13. David Neuer says Ferris Bueller was the first PG-13 movie. Now I'm wondering who's right and who's wrong. What was the first PG-13 movie? David, Google says Red Dawn was the first PG-13 movie. Although the internet's being tricky, because then this one article says Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom created the PG-13 rating. Yeah, but most of this says Red Dawn. Oh, that's funny. Joe said, who are you going to trust, your friend or a soulless corporation? And then Jeff McClellan said, I thought it was Gremlins. Oh, man, everybody has a different idea of the first PG-13 movie. Yeah, History.com says Red Dawn, first PG-13 movie. The MPAA restructured its rating system in 1984 after parents complained of violence and gore in movies like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and Gremlins. It was actually Steven Spielberg himself who suggested the PG-13 label as a stepping stone between PG and R. So Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom and Gremlins were PG, and parents were mad because they were so violent. That's interesting. David Denoyer said maybe it was Deep Throat. No, I think that was general audiences. That's the kind of story a whole family can enjoy. Joe Scott said, Wolverines! I love Red Dawn. When the pandemic was first really hitting, I remember one Saturday I was just hanging out by myself in my house. So, and the weather was beautiful outside. So I grilled a steak and watched Red Dawn and then smoked a cigar and it was probably the most masculine I'll ever be in my entire life. Ever. Dan said, wasn't it Monster Squad? Joking. Now we're all just trying to spread more misinformation. Milius was the zoetrope of Coppola. I don't know what that means. David said, it sounds like Parents Association with Dick Tracy. Yeah. That's such a great one. Rob Field says, man, you're killing me, Dave. He's killing all of us, Rob. I do want to mention, if you guys are enjoying the stream, I try to do a stream every single Friday and sometimes more often, but Friday is when I really carve out time. Around about 3:30 or 4 o'clock, I start streaming. So make a point to keep an eye out on Fridays to see if I'm streaming. You can also, whether you're on YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, I'm sorry, Jacob Lenoff. It looks like I'm not getting your chats anymore from YouTube. That happens sometimes. Anyway, let's see. Sorry. Oh man, that's my mom. My mom is speaking through my head right now when I go. Dan York said Deep Throat, LOL. I just saw that a few years ago. Curiosity. Then I read that the actress was kind of abused by her director husband. Yeah, he was a nightmare. He was not a good guy. You should watch the movie Lovelace. It's about her. It's a fascinating watch. So, what I was going to say is the stream is entirely supported by you folks. And if you like what you're seeing, if you like hanging out, talking about movies with me and other like-minded people, consider making a small donation. It helps me pay the medical debt that I've got from Chicano's chemotherapy, which ended up being $8,500. So any contribution is hugely appreciated. And all you have to do is go to the link in the post of this or the show notes, description, whatever you want to call it. Click on the Streamlabs link and you can donate any amount you're comfortable with, and all of it massively appreciated. And of course, you'll see your name. Oh, it's over here. You'll see your name roll by on screen. So I really do appreciate all of the help very, very much. And it helps me dedicate more time to the stream because it, makes it worth my time to take away from the movie stuff. Man, I'm thirsty today. Let's see. I think the chat might have frozen. Let me refresh the chat. Right now, oh, there the chat goes. There we go. All right. Well, anyway, I am going to have to wrap it up soon because I'm going to have friends start showing up, and we're all going to the Cigar Lounge to have a nice time, smoke some stogies, and there is an event tonight. I forget what it is off the top of my head, but we are going. Justin Ord said, that's why it's cold in here. It's frozen. Oh, David Denoyer said, I brought Uno. Ooh. Oh, yeah, it's Crowned Head Cigars event. Thank you, Nick. I'm hoping I'll see you there. Dan York said, have a blast. I intend to, my friend. I really do appreciate getting to hang out with all these folks and chat about movies and chat about our lives and just kind of, I don't know, I like to hang out. Oh, Nick said, have fun. I'm unfortunately working Frozen at the theater. Well, we still like you, though. Oh, and of course, tonight is Joe Bob. Yeah, we're going to be watching Joe Bob Briggs. Raining Blood, video at 11. Jeez, David. But yeah, so huge thank you guys. I intend to be back streaming next week. Make sure to set a notification up on Facebook or YouTube or Twitch, wherever you are, so that you find out immediately when I start streaming so we can all hang out, talk about movies, and have a nice time. And thank you again for the donations. I can't tell you from the bottom of my heart how much they mean to me. Excuse me. But now I'm going to let the lo-fi hip hop take us out. I'll see you guys really soon. Oh, and by the way, check out on my YouTube channel, I released for everybody to watch the Freddy's Greatest Hits listening party David and I did. Very, very funny. Dan York asked, what time does Joe Bob come on? He comes on at 9 p.m. Eastern on Shudder. So see you all very soon. And a little air horn too. Thanks, everybody.